And I did study a little bit the history of Germans and this part of the world before, and I discovered that we didn't have much contact. The people on this part of the Arabian Gulf and then the Trucial Coast, as it was called. There was an early, very early, maybe the first real milestone I found was 1904. A German explorer called Hermann Burchardt. He came to the Trucial Coast and he made some famous photos. So that's a very early milestone. And then the relations, well, just before the foundation of the UAE took off in the early 60s. Maybe I just mentioned one at the turn of 1963, 1964, a German company called Siebert. They dug for water and they found enough water around Al Ain to make the first water pipeline from Al Ain to Abu Dhabi, which is the first time that the people in Abu Dhabi could go to water taps and they didn't have to dig for brackish water. And since then, our relations have really taken off. Maybe I should mention that in the middle of the 60s, Sheikh Zayed placed the biggest order ever for Mercedes 600 Pullman limousines. It was 13 at the time, but at that time, it was the biggest order anyone had ever placed. And they had it fitted with balloon tires to drive here in the desert. And there's some famous photos of Sheikh Zayed sitting at the wheel of his Mercedes. I could mention many more examples, but then I should mention that in 2004, we signed our agreement on a strategic partnership. It's a big leap from 1960s to 2004, but 2004 agreement on strategic partnership. And when His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed visited Berlin in 2019, we updated and upgraded that document. So since 2019, we have a shared roadmap of what we want to do together. Maybe those are milestones that I should mention. I think we have more potential to work together to help each other create peace, stability, and peaceful conflict resolutions in both regions and in other regions of the world. So we really, all the countries that share the same goals really have to work together to face these challenges. The next big challenge we face is the challenge of sustainability and the climate crisis. I should mention this area of culture. UAE has a policy of tolerance, openness. It's a multicultural, inclusive state. So are we. Germany has a special background. We came from a space of intolerance. We know exactly the terrible consequences that will have for everyone. It will lead to catastrophe. So there also, I think we have complementary experiences, and in bringing our people together and doing shared projects on this kind of the idea of how do we live together in a multicultural, inclusive, peaceful, happy society, we can also be an example to others that we can. Doesn't matter what our culture, our history, our religion, and all that is. If we're willing to, we can live together peacefully and happily.